Welcome to Books and Besties, the virtual book fair. Share this link with others and get ready for something awesome. Books and Besties, the virtual book fair.
Oh my gosh. Hi, good afternoon. It is Saturday, November 30th. I was just thrown off by hearing what sounded like my voice for the intro. Good afternoon. My name is Sonia B, and I am sitting in for my sister, Angie B. I don't know why I'm so bright here. I'm going to turn that light down some. That's a little bit better. Um, my sister Angie B, who usually hosts Books and Besties, is under the weather, recuperating from gallbladder removal surgery. We are going to keep her in her prayers, but we're going to still go forward and do what God has set in our hands to do. I will be joined today by two wonderful artists, authors who are artists as well. When you write a book, that is creating art that will last forever. So I will be joined by them shortly. And in the meantime, I am going to check with my producer and see exactly who's going to join us first. I believe it's Avalon. Avalon, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Good morning, good afternoon. It is the last day of November. Can you believe it? It's so good to see you. How are you
Yes, well, it's
doing?
almost a new year already.
Yes,
I'm
and
good. I'm good.
we're just going to believe God that the new year, that the new month starting on a Sunday is going to be a great thing tomorrow, December 1st. So we are ending this month with a bang. And I am very honored to be sitting in for Angie. And thank you so much for joining us today. I want to really talk a lot about you have so many books that span from so many subjects. How many books have you written?
I think I'm up to 14 by now.
Oh, wow. That is great. I mean, I
Can
love
you hear me?
how, yes, I can. You said 14? Yeah, 14. Yep. You are just a little bit behind me, but that's okay. 14 books. That is awesome. I know that you have some books that have to do with nursing because that was your career for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And then I know
Yes,
that
for
you have some
43
children's
years.
books. 43 years you were a nurse? Wow.
Yes.
Were were you a nurse through the pandemic? Or
Yes, I
wow.
was. Matter of fact, I was an infection control nurse during that time.
Wow. Did you ever contract COVID-19?
No, I didn't. And I was actually covering the COVID unit. I had to
Oh,
go to that unit every day.
oh my gosh. What a blessing. I mean, talk about true covering of God
Yes.
for you to never have gotten sick while you take care of others who had the sickness. That is so great. That is just a part of history that many of us want to forget, but it is a part of our history. And I thank God for those of you who were on the front line that were taking care of those who were suffering through it. I definitely lost a couple of people during that time, but I also saw many people get through, and it was because of people like you who were taking care of them, and that is just truly a blessing. So, how was your holiday?
Yes. We actually lost 11 employees in the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
Quiet. Had the grands over. My oldest granddaughter. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We got just a little bit of a
This was her
delay. I'm
first
sorry
year
about
cooking for
that. Oh, how old is she?
27.
Okay. How'd she do? How did she do with the cooking? How was everything?
We having a little connection going on because the computer is freezing on me.
Yeah, I
She
see. I
did actually
see.
good. She really did good.
That's
I might switch
great.
my I don't know the computer.
Okay. Yeah, we
My
had a
internet is freezing. I don't know if I'm
okay. You want to go out and come back in? I can talk for a little while.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So we're gonna allow Avalon to go on and work on her connection here, and I think I'm gonna play with my lights a little bit more. No, I'm still too bright. I'm just no. I'm just gonna keep the lights off. Okay. Yeah, forget it. You can see me. Here in Michigan. It's snowing, and when it gets a little colder, I tend to get a little brighter to match to hide in the snow. I guess so, like a chameleon. But um, I know that I had a very good Thanksgiving. I just praised God because um, my sister, as I said, Angie B, the evangelist Angie B, had gallbladder removal surgery the day before Thanksgiving, and she came through it with flying colors. She is sore and tired, but she made it through, and I thank God for that. This is definitely a time of year that is riddled with significant loss, especially in my life. 25 years ago, I lost my mother on this day, November 30th, 1999. I lost my mother to a massive heart attack at the age of 54. And just last month, actually, earlier this month, I lost a friend who was 50 that also had congestive heart failure. So I just pray for everyone who has any type of illness and anyone who's lost a family member, especially this time during the holidays. It is a little more difficult. Death is never convenient. I say it all the time. However, during the holidays, it tends to hit a little harder. So, speaking of the holidays, I want to talk a little bit about my love and joy Beth Eden Missionary Baptist Church. We are located here in Detroit, Michigan. And this time of year, we are just filled with love, knowing that we are celebrating Christmas, not Xmas, Christmas. This is when the Lord really shows out with the different weather and people's attitudes and happiness and things of that nature. And we at Beth Eden Missionary Baptist Church are very honored to adopt a classroom from one of our inner city schools. The school is Mary McLeod Bethune K through 8. It's an elementary school. Hey, Clarence. Hey there. What up, Doe? You must be from Michigan. You greeting me like that. What up, Doe? Yes, we try to take care of as many people as we can, but we definitely concentrate on the kids because Christmas surrounds children, and we don't want any child to go without. So every year we adopt a classroom, and this year we have a kindergarten classroom. Little 5-year olds, I had absolutely no idea what to get them. So I had them write down some things that they want. And we have made a little Amazon wish list. If you would like to order anything from the wish list, then it'll come straight to us, and we are going to take it to the school and give them to the kids sometime right before they get out for Christmas. We don't want to do too early because that's torture. That is torture to just have gifts sitting around wrapped, and you can't touch them. You can't you can't play with them. You can't do anything with them until Christmas. So we will put up the link for the Amazon wish list just as soon as possible. And if you would like to um, contribute financially, our Cash App is $Eden Nation. That is $EdenNation. That is our Cash App for Beth Eden Missionary Baptist Church. Please make sure that you put Christmas class adoption in the subject line so that we can make sure that that money goes to where it needs to go. And we thank you in advance for considering the children. Clarence, I see one of our commenters that says he can relate. He lost his mom to the same thing, and she was 52, which was congestive heart failure or heart attack. Clarence Ball, I'm definitely praying for you. I know that pain. I was with my mom, and we were out just taking care of some business, and she told me she couldn't breathe and fell back in my arms. And at the time I was 29. I didn't know what to do but call on Jesus. And once I got myself together, I started calling my family to let them know that we were heading to the hospital. Unfortunately, it was too late. So I just had an EKG. I encourage everyone, if you have a history of heart disease in your family, it's never too young to have an electrocardiogram. It's never too young to check your heart. It's never too young to get a mammogram or to get a prostate exam, especially if you have any form of cancer in your background. If you have breast disease, we have breast disease in my family. If you have disease, just anything, I encourage everyone to get to the doctor before the end of the year. I know you have some benefits that you haven't used yet. The year is over. After Halloween, the year is over. So here we are. It's the end of November. Call your doctor on Monday. Make some appointments. There are some things that definitely you can have checked. All right, so that's enough of my rambling. I know that Avalon is back. Welcome back, Avalon. Hey, I can see you much better.
Yes, okay.
Oh, yay! And there's
Yeah, I
no
think we got it
lag.
going now.
Okay, all right, great. So you were saying that your
Yeah, switch to the
granddaughter
phone.
sometimes, isn't that something? We can have all this equipment. That's like, I've got this ring light here. I thought maybe I was gonna need it, but it's just whiting me out. It's just making me look more like a ghost. I'm just gonna sit here in the dark. It's fine. But but anyway, where are you calling from? What state are you in?
I'm in Newark, New Jersey. I'm calling from New Jersey.
Oh, okay. So do you all have any snow yet? You get snow, right?
No, no. It's still good. It's only like 40 degrees.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad. I think we are at a balmy 27 degrees here
Mm-mm.
in Michigan, but yeah, we so far so I mean, I really can't complain because we've had some good weather here in Michigan this year. Today was
Mhm.
our first consistent snow. It snowed yesterday and we got about an inch and a half. And then today it's just been steady, but it's cold. It's just really cold. Every year I wonder, why am I here? But I spent Christmas last year. Actually, I was in Jacksonville, Florida, with Angie BEE and my nieces and nephews, and it was a little bit cold, but it was nothing like Michigan, and there was no snow. I'm used to snow for Christmas.
Mm.
Just it can snow on Christmas Day, white Christmas, and then it can melt the next day. That would be fine with me, but of course it doesn't
Right.
go like that. So, we left off talking about your niece was in charge of Thanksgiving this year.
My granddaughter.
Oh, your
My granddaughter.
granddaughter. Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
So, what did she make?
Pretty much a lot of stuff. She had greens, yams, the stuffing, the mac and cheese. What else she had? Butter beans,
Hmm.
something else. Oh, ham
Mm-hmm.
and something else. We had sweet potato pies and apple
Mm-hmm.
pie, I think.
No turkey?
No. Oh, actually, what we did was we ordered chicken wings from a place that we like to get chicken wings from.
Oh, that's
Ambassadors.
very
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. We wasn't feeling the turkey this year.
I understand that.
At least
I
she wasn't.
Yeah, hey, you got to go with what the host does. That's for
Yeah.
sure. I was at my dad's, and my um, mother, my stepmother, was saying how she didn't want to get ham this year. We're all trying to watch our health, and my dad just was not happy about it. It wasn't a complete Thanksgiving without some ham, honey baked
Mm.
ham at that. But we made it through, and we were nice and full and happy. It was
We only had like the slice ham. You know how you get just that one piece of round? That's
yeah,
what we had. Yeah, we didn't get
yeah.
a whole ham.
Yes, it can just be a waste. I
Yeah.
made a turkey for my house, and it's just me and my daughter, but we had a few other guests that came by, and I made a Cajun turkey, and I actually
Hmm.
got one of the smallest ones that I could. It was, I think it was 10 pounds. It said the range of 10 to 16, but I'm pretty sure it was 10 pounds. It was small, but even at that, we just have so much of it left. I mean,
Yeah.
so
I
I'll just
usually turn
chop
it
it up.
into turkey salad.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do this year because it was so good, and I think it would be great as a salad, or
Hmm.
maybe some soup or something. But I'm definitely not gonna let it go to waste. We have too much waste in this world right now, and
Right.
we really don't know what the future brings, especially with the next administration. But we're just not even going to talk about that. So, I know that we were talking a little bit about your 14 books that you've done. So, how many were um, compilations? How many were joined with other authors?
Well, the 14 that I'm talking about is basically between the grands and great grands. So I have
Mm-hmm.
7 grands, 3 great grands. So
Okay.
my children books are all based off my grands. They are the characters in the book. Then
Oh, okay.
I was, yes, so they are the characters. But I actually started writing about my first book was the nursing book. That was the book, a memoir of my nursing career up to
Mm-hmm.
2010. Then I got into the children's books because I was at a book expo and a teacher in the town brought it up. So then
Oh.
I started children's. I wrote the first one and I realized, okay, I did one for one grandchild. There's six,
Mm-hmm.
7 more grands. So now
Oh,
the books are based on them. And then I have been part of 9 anthology, different topics. I
wow.
wrote a poetry book. But my
Mm-hmm.
latest thing I've been writing is nursing. I started writing nursing.
Mm-hmm.
I decided that I was going to get other nurses to write about their challenges and their issues in nursing. And I managed to get 10. And Angie BEE Production helped me with that because we also turned it into an audio book.
Oh,
And then we did a second volume with just the men and their experiences, how they felt as male nurses. And one of my colleagues, who's actually coming in a little later, he's going to talk about that part of nursing because he's actually in
okay.
that book. With,
Oh,
matter of fact, let me. Okay, so this was the first book. This was my memoir, my
oh
nursing
wow,
memoir.
what a beautiful picture. Is
Yeah.
that you?
Yes, as a younger nurse, it was the
Yes.
Devil All Along that I wrote about that one. And
Mhm.
then this was a collaboration that the 10 nurses.
Uh-huh.
Nursing is our passion. We can't quit. And
Mhm.
10 other nurses actually wrote about their stories, their challenges, why nursing didn't make them quit, and just a little bit about encouragement for the next generation of nursing. This
Mhm.
is the book my colleague is in that will be on later. This was the
Okay.
men, men, we're nurses too. We can't quit because the male nurses are working just as hard as the female nurses. So that was a collaboration. Then
Mm.
I decided that, okay, uh, why don't I start? using my experience for other nurses, and I came up with a book called A Guide for Nurses.
Hmm. Oh, wow. To
Nurses
flourish in the
to flourish in
profession.
their profession. So I wrote like some tips in there about nursing, far as if you want to be a nurse, what you have to do, the research you need to do to see if nursing is the profession that you really want to go into,
Hmm.
having the mentor in nursing. These are some of the table of contents. How to prioritize your workload, how they can do, because I always had like a organization. I'm an organized type of nurse. So, I was trying to talk about how they can organize themselves so that they're not there so long after their shift, just doing paperwork, how to be good team leaders, how to show compassion, how to be flexible as a nurse, because sometimes you go to work thinking you have one assignment, then they switch your assignment in the middle of your assignment, or they
Hmm.
float you to another floor. So I was just trying to talk about those things, continuing education in nursing, the legal consideration in nursing, so that that you don't, your job don't have malpractice. Good to carry malpractice because when something happened, they're not always going to cover you. So it's good to carry your own malpractice.
Mm.
And navigating a path to entrepreneurs, because a lot of nurses now are opening their own businesses.
Hmm.
As far as home care, nursing homes. They're opening up their own business clinics. You have your nurse practitioner now. So I was just trying to like give some tips, and so recently my latest project I'm working on now, because I was someone asked me, a couple of people asked me, how do I cope with death when the patients, die as
Mm.
a nurse. So I'm writing a book now, A Guide for Nurses to Cope with Patient Loss. That'll be coming out probably a couple of months. Now, I'm
Mm.
working on that right now, because there's so much that's going on in nursing now. Nurses are leaving the profession. It's the staff ratio to patient is so high now. When I started nursing back in '83, we only had 5 patients on a day shift. Now the nurses have 10 patients, and their
Wow.
workload is so heavy, and a lot of the nurses, it's just too much for them, so they're stepping away from the bedside. It's
Yeah.
millions of nurses out there, but not at the bedside in the hospital.
Hmm. Hmm. I definitely, when I was talking about, while you had stepped away for a moment, that today is the 25th anniversary of my mother's death. She had a massive heart attack. She was 54. And one of the things that I remember, while we were all around her hospital bed, I had just made the decision and signed the paperwork to take her off the ventilators and the breathing machine. And the nurse that was coming in to take her off the machines was visibly upset, just crying. And I was like, what is wrong with her? She never even met my mother. She never. And I later found out that that was her third patient that she had to release in that way. And I
Mhm.
can only imagine that that is just um a very horrifying thing to have to go through, even if you didn't know the person, just to take them off of these machines that are giving them their final breaths, even if it's just for the family's comfort, because those machines really, it's not like, well, I know that there have been times that stranger things have happened and people have come back to themselves after being on those machines. But in my mother's case, we literally just had her on long enough for everyone to get there. So I know that nurses are the first lines of defense, and like I said, I definitely thank God for you, and I look forward to speaking to your colleague in the next segment as we speak a little bit more about nurses. I want to come back to your children's books. someone texted in a question asking, are the kids' books about your grandkids?
Yes, it's they're each about each book that I write is something that they like. You
Oh,
know, it's
okay.
something about the grandchild. If it's something that I see them liking, it's about like the very first book was called Mommy, Why Do I Have a Cold? And
Mm,
that one was about a granddaughter. Since she was young, she always seemed to have colds all the time.
mm,
So that's what made me write about her. And she's asking, why do I have a cold? Where these colds come from? So the book is based on what type of things might cause a child to have a cold. And it's a picture book, you know. So
mm,
she's asking her grandma, you know, why do she have a cold? Where did so the grandmother give her some suggestions far as like when you're sneezing, cover your arms. When you're with other children, don't eat behind other children. How
mm,
germs float, wash your hands, washing your hands constantly, just those different type of things. And there's a picture to go with everything that the grandmother is telling her. So that's the way my children books, they're picture books, and it's based
mhm,
on something the children like this last one, mom, the church that I love is about one of the granddaughters who really love to go to church a lot.
yeah.
So the mom takes her to a new church and she loves the service and she wanted to go back. Another title is That Needle's Not For Me. This is
Mm,
a granddaughter who hates needles when she go to the doctor, always fighting the doctor. The doctor has to convince her, you have to take this vaccine in order to go to school. So, you know, each thing is something based on the child, you know, the child and what they do in life.
mm-hmm. Those are definitely some titles that I can relate to. My daughter suffered from asthma when she was very young. I believe she's growing out of it now. I'm just going to believe God that she is. But at this point, at 12, those Facebook memories can pop back up and remind you of some things. And one of the Facebook memories I saw was a little video that she made for her aunt, my sister, Angie B, and was she really, her breathing was staggered, and she was like, I'm very sick. I don't feel good right now, and it just broke my heart to see, because at the time I didn't know. I thought that she was just having bad colds. I didn't know that it was asthma, and
Mm.
shortly after that is when we found out that she had asthma, and we went to the doctor and started her on the inhalers and the prednisone and things of that nature. So, and then when you talk about needles, oh my gosh, she used to. Oh, it was just so terrible. I
Mhm.
felt so bad. Three nurses would have to hold her down, and the doctor would, okay, you ready, somebody get her legs. It was just like a whole surgery just to give her vaccinations, and don't even talk about having to take some blood. That was out of the question. She has really come far with
Yes.
that. Yeah, she then I started distracting her, and she realized if she didn't tense up, it wasn't so bad. So I would distract her with her phone or some music, or I would, or start talking to her about something that would get her mind off of the fact that this needle is about to go in her arm or
You
her
gotta take.
shoulder, wherever it's going. Yes, yes, yeah. I was. Tell me a little bit about the audiobooks, because the church that I love, I am familiar with that book, as my
Yeah.
daughter is the voice actor on the church that I love. And yes,
I think it's
I
a
was,
couple now. Angie's done a couple now because
yes.
the church that I love, like I
Hmm.
said, that's about that. So far, the audio books that Angie has produced, the two nursing books,
Hmm.
um, the church that I love, and Mommy, Why Do I Have a Cold? They're now all on Audible, and they're
Yes.
produced by her. So we're working on getting my memoir on
Hmm.
Audible next. So,
Oh, that's
yes,
awesome. So
yes. Now that I have know the process.
yeah, is it So how would you, because I just signed up for Audible last month through Amazon because my daughter has discovered that she likes audiobooks. It helps her
Okay.
exercise, she likes to put it on, and although she loves to read, and I definitely encourage her to hold that book and read, but I love that she is getting into audiobooks. So how do you feel like more people are going towards audiobooks versus just an actual book that they have to hold?
Well, I see audiobooks being advertised more and more and more. So I guess it's something that people have to, grab hold of, because I'm just discovering it, I guess, probably back in the summer.
Mm.
I didn't even know about Audible. And when I
Oh.
went to the book expo in was it September, October, they had the speaker from Audible there. And then that's why I was like, I want to find that, I started looking it up to see how I can get the books on Audible. Because you
Mm-hmm.
have to actually go to this system called ACX to
Mm-hmm.
do the downloading for it to get on Audible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And one thing I have learned about ACX through Angie BEE Productions, I've learned that there are some specific guidelines. I mean,
Yeah.
your sound quality has to be good, no background noise, things like that. I mean, I know that music is okay, but yeah, so that's awesome that you are
Yeah.
now getting your books onto to the audio realm. That's great. We just want to remind the audience that this is an Angie BEE production. Today is Saturday, November 30th, and we are here, Books and Besties. If you would love to donate to this ministry, then there is a Cash App, which is $ Evangelist Angie B. Or you can send a love offerings via PayPal to Evangelist Angie B at gmail.com. Or finally, if you would like to Zelle something just in appreciation to this platform, the Zelle phone number is 407 914 6519. We are speaking today with author Avalon Brown as we talk about her many books and audiobooks that she is delving into
Mhm.
now. Yes, I very much enjoyed. Oh, looks like it's time for a commercial break. So we are going to take a moment, grab a little water, and we will be right back.
Step into a world of resilience and self-discovery with this captivating memoir. Through heartfelt anecdotes and profound reflections, the author takes readers on a transformative journey, navigating family dynamics and finding solace in faith. With raw honesty, they confront domestic violence and the challenges of the pandemic, showcasing the strength of the human spirit. This memoir inspires hope, resilience, and the power of never giving up, even in life's darkest moments. Discover the courage to rise above adversity today. Available now on all major platforms. Unbroken Spirit, A Journey to Redemption by Avalon S. Brown.
The Me Project, a woman's guide to thriving in singlehood by visionary author Alexandria Evelyn Johnson and courageous women around the world, featuring a new personal testimony from me, Evangelist Angie B. It's time to order your copy by email to evangelistangb@gmail.com. A woman's guide to thriving in singlehood. The Me Project.
dfcmarket.com.
If you or someone you know needs help coping with depression, anxiety, or PTSD, overcoming low self-esteem, or managing major life transitions, We invite you to schedule a free consultation call for telehealth clients. Shekinah Downs, licensed clinical social worker, is now accepting new telehealth clients. In the office, too. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386-385-4483. That's 386-385-4483. In the brand new Daytona Beach office as well. 50 to 60 minute individual therapy sessions and a variety of insurance plans are accepted. Couples therapy and coaching is coming soon. We invite you to log on to cjaqis.com. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386-385-4483. That's 386-385-4483. I am in my happy place.
I like to play this game. It's called VR Chat. VR Chat is a social platform that where you can make friends, exercise, or even work on your social anxiety. I use it to go there, make friends, have fun, and wash all my worries away, if I have any, that is. I use VR Chat to calm down and make new friends, because real life, it's hard to make friends sometimes.
Is that the end?
This was a story by me, Angie BEE.
Oh, I know that little girl. I recognize her very well. That is my daughter. She at that time, I believe she was 10 years old, and she still loves VR Chat. She plays it all the time on her MetaQuest Oculus. I remember that she wrote that story just off the top of her head, and it was just truth, and it was very much her life at the moment, and she still loves that VR Chat. It's like $10 a month, but she now she does chores to make sure that she pays that. So that's one less thing mommy has to pay for. All right. Thank you for coming back, Avalon. Hi.
Hi.
I'm having such a great time. I can't believe it's almost 3:00 already. I know that we have someone else who's going to join us. Tell us a little bit about this author that will be joining us in the 3:00 hour.
Okay, his name is Todd Rutledge. He's also an RN. He has his master in RN. I have to read because there's a lot about him. He's a
Okay.
former professor at Trinitas School of Nursing in Elizabeth, and he's an adjunct professor in Muhlenberg Hospital in Plainfield, New Jersey. He's currently working as a clinical instructor at St. Michael's Hospital in Newark, New Jersey. He was born and raised in the Bronx. He's a graduate of Hampton University, class of 92.
Wow.
He received his associate degree from Union County College, that's in New Jersey, a diploma in nursing from Muhlenberg School of Nursing in 2013. And now he has his master's in science from King College, and that was in 2018. His medical expertise is in dialysis, his hobbies, and international travel and photography. I actually met Todd in dialysis because I was in dialysis for 20 years and I was a charge nurse there, clinical manager there for like 3 years. And when I needed extra help, Todd would come and work overtime for me. So
Oh,
this is where
wow.
I actually met him. And he's now in our anthology. He's actually in both of them. But I really liked him in the men anthology. So when he comes in, he's going to elaborate a little bit more, working as a male nurse. Yeah, and
Wow.
his experiences. Yes.
And you said his last name is Rutledge, Rutledge?
Yes.
That's very interesting. My great aunt's last name is Rutledge. On my father's side. Very unique last name. I'm gonna have to jump in there and ask him if we're cousins or something because
Right?
yeah, that is a very unique last name. Is there anything as you look over your 43 years as a nurse, is there anything that stands out that made you think or know that this was the profession that you should be in?
I actually started liking nursing as a little child, watching
Hmm.
the Kildare movie, the hospital, and I was just infatuated with those, with the white uniform and the cap and the shoes. But
Mm-hmm.
this is something I carried with me all through high school. And when I finished high school, it's like I'm going to be a nurse. I wanted to be a nurse the whole time. And then I was working in dietary in the hospital. So I would also see the nurses, working with the patients. And it's like more and more, this is the profession that I wanted to go into. It just became my passion over the years. Even though, a lot of the times weren't good, but it became my passion. It was just something that I like to do. I like helping the patients. I like talking to them. A lot of them like needed like comfort,
Mm-hmm.
compassion, empathy, especially when they're in the hospital and they just sometimes they just want somebody to talk to. They may vent to you what they don't vent to the family members.
Right, right. Yeah, that is definitely, I think that every time I've been in the hospital, I have seen my nurses more than the doctor, of course. And when the doctors come in with their team or with their students or things of that nature, I always felt more comfortable when the nurses would come in as well because I just I don't know. I feel like as much as you all are definitely respected medical professionals, I would never take anything from you as a nurse. It just seemed like nurses have a little more interaction with the patients than the doctors do in a more intimate way. And I mean, in terms of taking our vitals and asking, how our day is going and things of that nature, because, doctors have a lot of patients to see, just like nurses do. But I know I've always, even the nurses who were on the unit for my sister in this recent um, stint in the hospital that she was at, St. Vincent. Um, I can't remember. St. Vincent Hospital. I know that she, oh my gosh, it's escaping me. But it was a Christian hospital, so she really appreciated that there were priests and reverends running around there waiting to pray for them. And the nurses that came in were also funny. And yes,
Yeah.
St. Vincent is under Ascension. And we have the Ascension brand hospitals here in Michigan as well. So I really loved just the interactions that I heard from the nurses that were around her. They even one on Thanksgiving was so kind in coming to tell her that she also had been in the hospital on Thanksgiving one day. And because, of course, everyone wants to be with their family. And even though I am in Michigan and my sister Angie BEE is in Florida, thank God for the internet and just being able
Yes.
to video chat. But still, it was hard because I know that she was in pain and she was I won't say alone because she had a very dear friend with her and she had wonderful nurses with her. And
Yes.
my nieces came and got her and took her home later on that evening, and my nephews. But the actual preparation of being at home and getting everything ready before the holidays. So, yeah, it was definitely a different time. So, I do know that there are some upcoming audiobook projects that we are looking for authors for. My Job experience.
Yes,
We that is the next. That's going to be an anthology as well, right? With a
yes, yes,
compilation
it
of
is.
authors. Okay, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, this one is like the Job experience. So we want people who have gone through things, and like you had to survive things like the last, like there was a from January, I would say from January to September when I first, like, I retired last year, but then I went through like a financial kind of crisis. And so it was like I didn't know how it was going to work out. It's like you don't know how you're going to make it through this, but you know that, you're still going to serve God. You're still going to bless Him. And so we're looking for people who've gone through those kind of situations that did not know how they were going to make it through, how they were going to survive. And all of a sudden, you're still serving God. But at that moment, when you think you have lost, boom, God is right there and bring you right back through. So
Yeah.
this is the type of situations we would like to hear about, because we all go through something. But
Yes.
we hold on to God, and it may take time, it may look like you at your worst, but all of a sudden the sun is shining again. You
Amen.
went right through
Amen.
that dock, went right through that mountain. You didn't go around, you went right on through, and He
Right.
brought you through.
Yes, yes. I love the name. Did you name this, Chantel? Is this yours or are you just contributing to it?
And no, Angie, that's Angie's.
Oh, all right. This is
That's Angie
Evangelist Angie
B.
B. Yes.
Yes,
She
Evangelist Angie.
definitely knows about
Yes,
some Job experiences.
yes,
Definitely. Yeah, I know that all of us, I mean, we made history because we're still here after a global
right.
pandemic. I mean, I know that we can all just talk about the transitions in that situation. For me, my daughter was in the third grade, and just one day, was it March 10th or March 7th, something like that? I think it was, might have been March 17th. No, that's my niece's birthday. No, that's okay. But I remember, I think it was March 17th actually. And the school told us that the kids weren't going to come back to the building for a few days. They said, just, we've got some things going on and the kids are going to stay at home. And I was like, oh, okay. Then it turned into, okay, a couple of weeks. So we're going to start sending home some work for them to do. And then it turned into, okay, they're not coming back to the building. And then it just seemed like after that, it was a domino effect. Here in Michigan, our wonderful Mayor Big Gretch, as we call her, Mayor Gretchen Whitmer, decided that we just all needed to stay in the house. Just, let's try and get a handle of this thing. And the doors of the church closed. That was the first time in my life that I couldn't go to church, not because I was too lazy to get up. Not that, but that literally the church doors were closed, and we couldn't gather together. So that introduced so many congregations, especially mine, to virtual church.
Right.
I was in the praise team, so we would come together with our masks, and then we'd be socially distanced, and we would film the service in an empty sanctuary. It was so depressing. But where one or more are gathered, then I know God is definitely in the midst, and we would just praise Him. And my pastor would bring just the most inspirational words, and it was just truly an experience. I wouldn't say that it was something I could write about, but I look forward to reading about the Job experience. And looks like it is time for another commercial break. So when we come back, we will be joined by your dear friend Todd Rutledge, and we will be right back.
All right.
All right.
A word from the author, A Father's Daughter by LaCarol Lynn Brock. As you read this story, it is my desire for you to understand a few things. No matter who you are, what you've done, or where you have been, as long as you have breath in your body, you are still redeemable. The King of Glory will always accept you rather than throw you away. A Father's Daughter.
What is my name? My name is Michael Douglas Scott. I've had chronic pain for the past 15 years. As I age, I get more pains. I have degenerative arthritis. I have basically 14 different medications, and they range from sleep apnea, trazodone, to ibuprofen, to meloxicam, to gabapentin, these are pain medications, about 6 different pain medications, medications to go to sleep. And I learned about the immune support through Ernest Warren. He's a real good friend of mine. Do something, and he wanted to know how it made me feel. But it made me feel like a young boy again, and it caused me to be feeling full of life, full of energy. When I took the super immune support, I saw results the second day. Several friends who really wonder what the heck's gotten into me, because I'm jumping all over the place. I catch the bus and the train. I drive my van to the train station and use the stairs. And every chance, all day I'm jumping up and down and doing push-ups, not push off the walls, jumping jacks, just full of energy. I've lost 25 pounds since December the 5th. I want to tell the world. I'll stand on the mountaintop and tell the world how good this stuff is on me. It takes care of me. My name is Michael D. Scott, and I take super immune support beta glucan, and I think you should too.
If you or someone you know needs help coping with depression, anxiety, or PTSD, overcoming low self-esteem, or managing major life transitions, we invite you to schedule a free consultation call for telehealth clients. Shekinah Downs, licensed clinical social worker, is now accepting new telehealth clients. In the office, too. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386-385-4483. That's 386-385-4483. In the brand new Daytona Beach office as well. 50 to 60 minute individual therapy sessions and a variety of insurance plans are accepted. Couples therapy and coaching is coming soon. We invite you to log on to cjaqis.com. Schedule a free consultation by calling 386-385-4483. That's 386-385-4483.
Oh, I love that music from DJ Shaheem. I hear it back there. I'm still playing with this light. Oh, now it's too dark. Oh my gosh. I just wanted to take a moment before we go into our 3 o'clock hour. It is now 3:01 on November 30th, you are here with us, and we are celebrating authors in the little project that is called Books and Besties. We invite you to join us for this next hour as we speak with a couple of very talented authors. Wanted to take a moment and talk about the clip art that is behind my box here, Adopt a Kid. I am Sonia B. from Beth Eden Missionary Baptist Church here in Detroit, Michigan. Annually, we adopt a child, a classroom actually, from our local K through 8 Mary McLeod Bethune Elementary School. And this year is no different. We are adopting a class of kindergartners, and we love and would welcome your partnership and support. We will place a link of our Amazon wish list that some of the children have given us suggestions of what 5-year-olds may like, because I had no idea. And also, if you would like to bless our ministry, we are accepting Cash App donations at $EdenNation.com. Excuse me, at Eden Nation on Cash App. That is $Eden Nation. EdenNation. And please make sure that you reference it is for the Christmas class adoption, so that all monies can go exactly where they are to be a blessing. We are in this Black Friday weekend and Cyber Monday, doing the best we can to purchase gifts for the children. So again, if you would like to bless us, the Cash App is $Eden Nation. And please add that it is for the Christmas class adoption. Also, this StreamYard ministry by the incredible Angie BEE Productions. I am so blessed to sit in and be the host of Books and Besties this Saturday afternoon as my sister evangelist Angie BEE recuperates from surgery, and we expect to see her back and up and running just as soon as possible. If you would like to bless her ministry, her Cash App is $Evangelist Angie BEE. She also is accepting PayPals from Evangelist Angie BEE at gmail.com, or you can send a love offering to her PayPal at 407-914-6519. And that is for Angie BEE Productions. And we wish her all the best juju that we can send in her recovery. And at this time, I am going to be joined by my co-host, author Avalon Brown, and our special guest, author Todd Rutledge. Welcome back, Avalon.
Hi.
Hi. Hello there, Mr. Rutledge. It's so nice to meet you. Uh-oh. Can't hear you.
Sorry about that. Thank you for having me.
There we go. There you go. Which child or grandchild came and helped you right there? Because I saw a hand come and push a button.
That's mine. I want to say thank you so much, Miss Avalon, for allowing me to be on your platform. Thank you so much for letting me contribute to your books. It's a pleasure. I enjoyed working with you. And Miss Sonia, thank you so much for introducing me. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. So we do see, I have had the pleasure of proofreading and editing Miss Avalon's first nursing book. In fact, I think I did both of them actually. Okay. So I do recall a little bit of your story, but why don't you share with us how long you've been a nurse, what got you into nursing, and in what aspect of nursing do you do your day-to-day work, if you're still working? You may be retired like Avalon.
Thank you. I wish I was retired. Not yet. But I came from a family that was very well educated. They all went to historically Black colleges. My parents went to Clark. My godfather / uncle and godmother, they went to Clark College as well. My uncle then went on to Howard University Hospital. He was the assistant medical director. So I wanted to grow up and be like him, to be a doctor. But when you're young, 18, I'm like, I'm not doing 20 years of school after high school.
Right.
And so I went to Hampton, graduated with a degree in aviation with a minor in business, but always had healthcare in the back of my mind. 2008, I was working in real estate. The housing bubble burst. I said, here's my chance to get into healthcare. So I went to nursing school, received my associate in nursing in 2012 from Muhlenberg School of Nursing, where I currently an adjunct professor. Then I went on to Kane University, where I received my master's in nursing and leadership. And I started nursing my first nursing job was February 2014. So I've been hands-on nurse for last 10 years.
Yeah.
Now I'm no longer bedside. I'm more on the clinical aspect. So I've been teaching at Muhlenberg for 5 years. I taught at Trinitas for 2 years at the same time as Muhlenberg. So now I'm still at Muhlenberg as an adjunct professor, and I'm also the clinical educator at St. Michael's Medical Center in Newark. So there I am involved with orienting new hires, the RNs, LPNs, and techs. So it's very rewarding. Some of the students I've had in my class, I have them as new hires. And then I've met a lot of new students from other really good schools in New Jersey as well. So I'm happy with the way things turned out. I had no blueprint. I was like, I was going to be a nurse, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no idea. Sometimes I wake up and I still don't think I have any idea what I want to do.
I'm sure we all have those days, and no matter what our profession is, we wonder how we got here and why are we still here. And but what types of things do you love about nursing, and especially being a professor? I mean, that means you talk about it all the time as well. So.
I talk about it all the time. I live it all the time. One of the things I love about what I'm doing now is I'm able to reach new. So if you're in nursing school, they come in bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and they want to achieve a goal. I remember when I was in nursing school, I was middle-aged, so I finished when I was 42. So there are some people that there are career changes. So you see them, they're adults, they're there for a reason because they want to be there. Mm-hmm. And so you can tell, you give them a little more encouragement than non-traditional students. And so I think the reward comes when they complete a class, a test, or when they finish nursing school and they say thank you. And I'm like, I'm just doing my job. But it really feels good for somebody to say thank you, that they acknowledge the time and energy and the work that you help with somebody achieve their goals. Yeah. So now as a clinical educator, I'm on the other side where I'm taking the graduate, and now they're filling a role in a hospital, in the ED or med surg, on floors that they really wanted to work on. It's really interesting. It really brings everything full circle. That I've seen somebody who was struggling in a pharmacology class, now, in the ED, taking care of emergency situations, or a med surg patient that came in that's having surgery or had surgery, and they're doing an excellent job. So that's where I get a lot of satisfaction for my job, seeing somebody that's really shy blossom into a really good nurse.
That is wonderful. Now, I definitely recall in one of the anthologies, maybe it was in both of them, but I think it was the one about the male nurses, that there is often some discrimination, some sexual discrimination.
Right,
and,
right.
I have to say that, just in my ignorance, I probably would be one of those patients that say, why didn't you go on to be a doctor?
Right.
And not that there aren't very capable male nurses, not that there aren't very capable female doctors, but, is there any reason that kept you in the nursing field versus the medical doctor field?
That's a good question. So when the housing bubble burst, I was 38. I thought I was a little bit too old to go to medical school, but my uncle said I wasn't. I didn't believe him. And I didn't, it's not that I wanted to take the easy route, but I didn't think at 38 I was really ready to go to medical school.
Hmm.
So I chose another route. I chose nursing. It was gonna be 2.5 years. It took me 3, but then I went and got my master's. So I did the 7 years that he told me he was gonna take to become a doctor. But you know
Right.
what? I'm here. I don't have any regrets on how my life turned out. I think I'm in a better position right now helping more people than if I would have gone to medical school. So
That is awesome. That's
but I did
awesome.
get into 2 MP schools after I finished Kane. So I just at that point I think I ran out of gas and I didn't have it in me to go back to school. One was Seton Hall, and I had to actually have an interview at the school, and it was interesting because not only are they interviewing me, but I'm interviewing them, and I didn't think Seton Hall was a good fit for me, but I did get in, and then I applied to St. Joseph. They had instant approvals. So when I went, of course, the nursing department wasn't there. But that was a Friday. But Monday, I got a call that I got in. And I just was like, it's not in me. It's not my time. And I didn't really want to go back to school at that point. And so then, now I'm working with a lot of professors that have their DMP and PhD. And the first question they ask you, when are you going back to school? And I'm like, never. I'm done with school.
Right.
I don't have it in me. I've worked and gone to school. I don't think there's too much for me to achieve. But if I wasn't working, I think I would go back to school. But at this point, I don't have the time or energy to work full time, adjunct, and then go to school. But it is, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I know that.
Avalon, have you ever thought about going back to school or thought about being a doctor?
No, I didn't because um, I didn't go back to school to get my bachelor's until I was 60 years old. Okay.
Wow.
I'm 67 now, but I went back to school to get my bachelor's at 60. But then in my mind, I had achieved everything I wanted to do on my associate degree because they used to tell you, oh, you can't be a clinical manager, you can't be doing
Yeah.
this, you can't do that on an associate degree. And I had achieved all my goals on associate's degree, but then I still wanted that bachelor's degree. So at the age of 60, I went back to school for 2 more years.
Wow.
And then the school asked me, are you going to continue for your master's? I said, no, I'm done. My brain has had enough.
Yeah.
So I
That is great.
started in bachelor's. I was happy with, I achieved a lot of different things during my nursing career. So it was just like, I don't see any much more that I really want to do besides, I'm just going to focus on the authorship now.
Yeah. And definitely, you both have great stories to tell. I'm floored at your dedication and definitely, Todd, I'm sure you can testify that Avalon is the epitome of there's no age limit to learning.
She taught me how to stick to itness.
Yeah.
I would see her. That dialysis starts early in the morning. I was getting up at 3:20. I'm like, Lord Jesus, help me.
Wow.
Once you get on that floor, it's go time. From the minute you step on the floor to the minute you turn off the lights, it's go time.
Yeah.
But the dialysis in the inner city is very rewarding. I worked in Jersey City, Newark, Elizabeth, Irvington, East Orange, Trenton. I've worked in all the inner cities, and the patients end up being like your family members because you can relate to this person. That's like my uncle. That's like my sister, and the care you give to them is a little different. Yeah. And so I've always had my practice in the inner city. I worked in another dialysis unit in Newark, but being in the inner city where they see you and when they find out you're the nurse, they'll listen to you more. They want that advice from you. And they want it from somebody that looks like them.
Yeah, right. But in that, on the other side, I was sharing with Avalon a situation that I had where the nurse was very upset as she was removing my mother from life support.
Hmm.
And I ask you that, as you know, as you are bonding with your dialysis patients, does it is it detrimental, or how hard is it if
Oh, it's extremely hard because you see these people 3 times a day. I'm talking about up to 5 hours, and
yeah.
you know their story. You know how they
Mhm.
ended up here. You know about their families. You know about their weekends, their holidays. They become like family to you. You
Mhm.
know, and
Mhm.
sometimes some of these patients, this is their social activity. They don't get out,
Right.
so they'll sit in dialysis all day. You
Yeah.
Wow.
know, with transportation issues. You know, dropping them off early, picking them up late. So you understand, and you're calling their family. Hey, you know, Mrs. Smith is still here. Okay, we're on our way to pick her up, and the family comes in, and you help them. So you really do get to know the patient's story.
It's true.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think it's the fact that these patients, because we're doing outpatient dialysis, these patients is just they're us, because I could be walking in and out that door.
Yeah.
Right.
This is how you see them. They're you see them on a, like he said, a personal level, because it's just like you're talking to maybe your sister, your brother.
Yeah.
They're here at the house for a minute to visit, and then they're gone, and
Yeah.
then they come back. Like he said, 3 times a week, these patients are there. And it's so funny because my granddaughter said, Nana, I think out of all your nursing, you focused on dialysis the most, because it was, for me, it was more to learn in dialysis
Mhm.
than just putting the patient on the machine and off
Yes.
the machine.
Yeah.
There was so much more deeper into
Mhm.
dialysis that you can get. And I did that. I went into all of that, all the different parts of dialysis.
Yeah.
So, do you all, do you two have? I have a very dear friend that I used to work with, and she does dialysis at home, which
Mhm.
I was so shocked. It was such a blessing that that was even an option for her, because when she first began, she had a very young daughter, and so it made it easier for her to work from home and also
Right.
to do this at home. And it taught me, because I really didn't understand dialysis. In my mind now, I feel like I've heard that it is basically cleaning your blood.
Yes. That's
Cleaning and recycling your blood. Hmm.
right. That's part of dialysis. Yes.
Hmm.
And it gets deeper than that, because we also pull fluid from your body
Right.
besides cleaning your blood. Because once your kidneys, they get to the point where the prognosis is bad, the fluid builds up in your body and they're not able to urinate. So
Right.
we have to also pull that fluid off of them on the machine at the same time we're cleaning the blood.
Right.
Mm. Is that when your kidneys start to fail? I hope this isn't a stupid question, but is that how kidney stones develop, or where do kidney stones develop from?
You have a lot of different ways kidney stones can
Right.
develop, you know. So, but that has nothing to do with dialysis or
Right.
kidney failure.
Okay. Does everyone who's on dialysis, are they ever healed? Do they?
There's no cure for kidney disease.
Mm-hmm.
So you just try to slow the progression of the disease. So once your kidneys start failing, it's monitored every week through dialysis. So you can continue with dialysis. You can do. We did in-center hemo outpatient, and then there's home dialysis or a transplant. But transplant isn't a cure. So
Mm.
it's just another treatment for a
Oh.
patient in kidney failure.
Yeah. I, I used to be, that's another title that I carried. I was a transplant designee. So I would
Okay.
help the patients get on the transplant list,
Oh.
monitor their blood. You have some
Hmm.
patients that, let's say, I still have a patient, I saw him on Facebook, matter of fact. He got a transplant and he's doing good.
Right.
They can do well for some years down the road. It
Yeah.
depends on how they take care of
Yes.
medication. There's a lot that goes to get the
Follow up.
transplant also,
Yep.
because sometimes they do reject the
Yeah.
bottle.
Yeah. I worked in the transplant department in St. Barnabas. It was
Damn,
one of the best experiences of my life. It was
Mhm.
amazing. When you
Yeah.
call in someone literally in the middle of the night, you know, we have a kidney for you. I need you to get to the hospital. And then the surgery is like 3 to 4 hours. The next
Wow.
day you go see them. Because I've never I've never seen the patients on the transplant list. I'm only dealing with their name and their phone number. But to walk
Mhm.
in their hospital room and then they find out who you are, that you helped them get a kidney, that was another really rewarding job, being
Yeah.
a transplant coordinator at St. Barnabas.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I have a friend whose mother received a kidney from a
Mm-hmm.
donor, and unfortunately, after about a week, her body rejected it, which was surprising to us because we all thought that after about 3 days she was out of the woods. But I guess like you said, it's not a cure; it's just
It's another treatment.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's very sad. Yeah. So, how many books have you written, Todd?
I'm just right now just 2 so far.
Okay. And
So
those are the nursing anthologies that you've
right,
contributed
yes,
to?
with
Okay.
Miss Avalon. So
Yeah.
she inspired me. I was trying to put a book together, and I'm hoping Avalon sparks me again with where are we now with people that I went to nursing school with. And so
Oh.
I started it, and I think I'm going to really try to put it in motion. So I'll be 15 years in 2019. So I think I'll put it 2029. Excuse me. I think I'll put it together. You know, we all chose different paths. Some are not doing nursing at all. But I want to hear your story. Why did you go to nursing school? How was it in nursing school? And what did you do? So, I still see my friends on Facebook. They have families now. It's not an easy road, but I want to know what have we done since we finished Muhlenberg? I think that would be an interesting story.
Definitely,
Mhm.
definitely. Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, I was sharing with Avalon, we all are historians at this point
Right.
because we made it through a global pandemic. So, if nothing else, that
Man,
is something that we can all testify
I
about.
did that too. I took care of patients with COVID without a vaccine, without a cure. And this is when, the doubters were calling it the 5G. I was like, come on, no, this is not 5G.
Yeah.
I've done it all. And
Did
I
you
feel
ever contract? Did you
no, I
contract?
never, I
Yeah,
never got, I
I
never
never
got
did
COVID.
either.
But
Yeah.
this is what I tell people when I tell my students and I tell new hires: you have to follow policies and procedures. I followed policies and procedures,
Hmm.
and I did everything at the time what the CDC said you should do.
Hmm.
And I never caught COVID. But one of the things I did was I made sure I took my clothes off in the garage. I put it in a bag and then took that bag upstairs right into the washing machine.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
You
yeah.
know? So I think but we learned a lot. I mean, during COVID, you notice now people were more they were more understanding about washing their hands, and so you're trying to figure out what were they doing before COVID.
Right.
Right.
It's definitely something to think about. Like, so
Right.
now you're diligent about washing your hands. So
Right.
what were
Yeah.
you doing before?
What were
You
you
just
doing
didn't
before?
care? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was a very interesting time. I'm here in Michigan, and we we got to the point for me that I would spray the rare times that we would leave the house. My daughter and I would stop right at the door, and I would have her to, take those shoes off, take those clothes off,
Right.
and then I would spray them with disinfectant. I mean,
Right.
and
Right.
the disinfectant that I had was vodka. I think it was vodka because there was no alcohol. Everybody had taken the
Right.
alcohol. I mean,
Limited
it's
supplies
so
everywhere. Right.
yes. Oh my God, it's so crazy to think about. There was no toilet paper. I mean, just the simple things in life. You couldn't find toilet paper. You
Right.
couldn't find Lysol or Microbon or
Right.
anything like
Yeah.
that. So, I just made something from vodka. But it definitely was a very scary time. I thank God we all got through it.
Yes.
So 2029. We'll be looking for that. Where are they now?
I'm really going to put it into motion. And it's funny, some people were saying, well, that's not me. I said, you don't have to write it. I have a list of questions that I'm going to ask you.
Yes,
and so I'm going to really put it together. And Avalon really sparked a bug in me. I come from a family of educators. So it's surprising now that I ended up teaching. But writing a book was something. The funny thing about that, right? I was telling my family, I said, I got to get this done. So my final draft was turned in, I think, like 10 minutes before I was going on a European cruise.
Wow.
So I wasn't gonna have the connection to send, redos, rewrites of the book. I said this is it. It has to go. Yeah. And it ended up being one of the best vacations of my entire life. I mean, it was really amazing.
Yeah. That is wonderful. Yeah. Yes. Avalon, so how did you two meet? You worked in the dialysis department, or how did you two meet?
I believe he would come and do overtime for me, right?
Yeah, in Irvington, yes.
Call him, Todd, you got some time?
They begged me to come in. That overtime money was really good.
That is awesome.
But also, I was learning too, because I was a new nurse. I was new to dialysis. So anytime that you were able to work with nurses and people that had knowledge. And so Avalon's knowledge wasn't just dialysis. She told me about all the other things that she had done, and the books. One of the books that she wrote, she autographed it for me. I was like, man, she's spilling the tea in this book.
Yes, definitely.
In fact, Matthew is now making that an audio book, so
good.
You'll be able to find out some of the things that you said telling the tea about.
That is awesome. I love the whole audiobook platform. It opens the door to so many of us who I enjoy flipping pages, but there are so many people who do not, who are just all
I still got to flip a page. I tried reading a book on a tablet. It's not me. I got through it, but give me a book. I gotta have that book in my hand.
Yeah, I think that we do too much with technology now as it is. These kids just don't know what an encyclopedia and having to research and things like that. I think you just, hey Siri, hey Echo, it's amazing to me. My daughter will grab her phone in a heartbeat. If I say anything, I said something about the Beatles, and at first she looked at me like, the bugs? Are you talking about a bug? And then she just grabbed her phone. She knew not to ask me some silly question. She grabbed her computer in her hand. I tell her, you have a computer in your hand. And she just looked it up and, some old timey singing group. Yeah. However you want to put it. Yep, that's what it is. Definitely. So, yeah. So we are here. It is November 30th at 3:29, and this is Books and Besties. My name is Sonia B. I am sitting in for the incomparable evangelist Angie B., who is my sister, and she is recuperating from gallbladder recovery. She did have her gallbladder removed, and I just thank God that she is past the hump and she's recovering, and it was my pleasure to sit in for her today. As you see scrolling across the bottom of your screen, should you want to make a donation to her ministry, then there are several ways that you can do that. But it is time for a commercial break. So when we return, I will go over those options and we'll continue to speak with Miss Avalon and Mr. Todd about their nursing experiences. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Tina Batten, and I'm one half of the writing duo of the Prayer Warrior book. You'll hear me say our book because I'm referring to my co-author Tracy and I. Just a little bit about me. I'm a visual storyteller. I've been writing stage plays for over 20 years, screenplays since 2012, and now books. And what's so fascinating about the origin of this particular project is the backstory of writing this book. You take two longtime friends, sisters in the gospel. Me, a playwright and indie filmmaker. Tracy, a Christian romance novelist. So you have two authors working together on a project over 2 years, residing over 2,000 miles apart. Tracy on the West Coast, me on the East Coast. We came together to write one supernatural story of the Prayer Warrior. We can't wait for y'all to read this book. You hear me? You'll be in for quite the journey, seriously. The Prayer Warrior book is available where books are sold, and we released the audiobook version, and that's available where audiobooks are sold, including Audible. The best way to get your hands on our book is to visit our webpage, theprayerwarriorbook.com. Go over to our virtual bookstore and order as many copies as you like. You'll find promotions for groups and autographed signed copies. You can check out our interviews, nominations, awards. And for more information about me, you can go to Sister Batten, Batten, films with an S.com, sisterbattenfilms.com. And anyway, in the words of the main character of this phenomenal book, Miss B, I say, blessings be upon you. That's my time. God bless. Happy reading and enjoy.
Sassy Girls Boutique. Sassy Girls Boutique. Hats, purses, jewelry, and glasses. Gifts for the family, gifts for you. Sassy Girls Boutique. 386-631-8150. That's 386-631-8150. Sassy Girls Boutique. J&B Kingston Grill, Jamaican restaurant. Real authentic Jamaican food. We cater. 386-281-3436. In the Daytona Beach area, call 386-281-3436. On WhatsApp, dial 386-307-4870. That's 386-307-4870. J&B Kingston Grill, Jamaican restaurant. Real authentic Jamaican food. Preface. Author Avalon Sule Brown is the visionary of this project. Avalon has numerous stories and testimonies from her career, and she has suggestions for others in the field. After retiring from a career in nursing in April 2023, she was led to invite other professionals in her career to share their stories, which first led to the production of the audiobook and the version that we hope that you are reading. This book is presented to share information and offer encouragement with others as they consider either entering into or continuing their career in the field. It should be placed in educational facilities where students can obtain copies for themselves. As the audiobook narrator began working on this project in August 2023, the stated review she shared with her Facebook followers is one we believe you will agree with. You will find this information both informative and enlightening. Review by evangelist Angie BEE, Angie BEE Productions.
All right, and we are back. So great to hear Evangelist Angie Bee's voice, even though she is not physically with us here in the chat. She is still behind the scenes doing production for us. And I am Sonia B out of Detroit, Michigan. It has been my pleasure to host Books and Besties. I believe this is the last one for 2024. So we are wrapping up the show. And I just want to remind everyone that here in Detroit, Michigan, my wonderful church, Beth Eden Missionary Baptist Church, which is run and loved by our incomparable pastor, Isaiah Petway. And we are adopting a kindergarten class for the holidays. And if you would like to contribute to that cause, we encourage you to send a Cash App to our church Cash App, which is $Eden Nation. It is on the screen. That's $EDEN NATION. And please put that it is for the Christmas class adoption so that that blessing can go where God has put our hands to do for these children for the holidays. I am going to bring back our guests for a moment as we say so long. My wonderful co-host for the afternoon, author Avalon Brown, and our Todd, I was giving you the wrong last name.
It's all right. You know what? So the Rutledge comes from it's my maternal grandmother's maiden name. So okay. I'm fine with that. So a lot of people call me Ruddles, Rutledge. I'm okay.
Okay, that's great.
Up, but I embrace it now.
Yes,
I like it. Todd Rutledge Baker looks very professional. And I use the whole
I love it. I love it. I love it. I was sharing with Avalon that Rutledge is my great aunt's last name on my father's side. We might be. We might be. I'll have to talk about that one day. Yeah. But I just want to take this time to thank you, Avalon, and thank you, Todd, for joining me with Books and Besties this afternoon. By all means, please share this link to all of your friends, and they can come back and replay and watch the show. That can learn about nursing and all of your books, your upcoming book, Todd, and your future projects, audiobooks and books as well. Sister Avalon, it was so wonderful to spend the afternoon with you. I just want to thank all of our viewers who are always so loyal and present for anything that Angie BEE Productions sets forth. And we are wishing you all a wonderful Christmas, a wonderful New Year, and we're just praying for all blessings for 2025. Yes. Anything that you two would like to say before we close out? Avalon?
To give people my website if they want to look me up at author.avalonsbrown.com, and they'll see all of my books. And I'm wishing everybody a happy holiday. I thank you for having me. I always enjoy coming. Thank you, Todd, for joining with me.
Thank you, Miss Avalon. Thank you, Miss Sonia, for having me. It's a wonderful experience that is going to last a lifetime. Put a spark in me to do some really big things and actually to become more helpful and leave a mark in this world. I want to make sure that I leave this world in a better place than what I received it in. That's all I can ask at this point.
I love that. I love that. And also, Todd, I just want to bring up that Angie BEE Productions will be doing a new anthology called My Job Experience. Okay. And I'm sure that Avalon can share that with you. Sure. I think that you would be a wonderful asset to that project.
Thank you so much.
There's just something, just a little bug in your ear there. Okay. So we are going to close out for the afternoon. Okay. And again, I thank you both so much for joining us. And thank you, Angie BEE, for being our producer back here. Everyone stay blessed, be blessed, as Angie BEE would say, and have a great afternoon.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. Bye.
Hey, what's good, man? It's your boy T Horn. I'm that new breed. And see what I am? It's something the world has never seen. and something the fake Christian can only dream.
I'm that new breed.
Yeah. Introduce y'all to something new, not a stereotype.
I'm that new breed.
I'm rebuilt, remade, not fake.
I'm that
not
new breed. New breed. New breed. New breed. New breed. I'm that new breed. New breed. New breed. New breed. Descended from that old seed. New breed. New breed. New breed. I'm that new breed. New breed. New breed. New breed. I'm on that true seed. I wanna be new. Wanna be repping the truth. Wanna go hard in the booth. Wanna be sober with this when the angels they see me, they stopping to give us a salute. Not worry about loot. Full like a stomach with food, not half like wearing one boot. I hear you saying, but you just be talking. I wanna be realer than you. Who? Got a problem with your mind frame. Said a problem with your mind frame. Church-wise negativity, contradictions. You driving me insane. How you holy in the church, then Monday back in the world? You fake it, damn, these baby dolls, boy, you're nothing but a Barbie girl. Dang, pastor stealing money. Choir members, funny. I ain't pointing fingers, but homie, I'm not a dummy. Then you sit around and judge me, acting like you above me. You can wear your Sunday's best, but your spirit's still ugly? What? Excuse me, won't follow your example. Nope. Don't want not even a sample. Nope. I'd rather be stepping high, being what God called me to be trampled. When these people see me, I want them to see God. I want them to see this new breed, not a fake, not a joke, a facade. New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed. I'm that new breed. New breed, new breed, new breed. Descended from that old seed. New breed, new breed, new breed. I'm that new breed. New breed, new breed, new breed. I'm hyped on that true seed. Some Christians a joke, but I ain't laughing. Y'all putting on a show, but I ain't clapping.
Hey yo, what's a new breed though? Inquiring minds would like to know. Tell us what's the reason for your flow. Put us up on game, stop playing, bro.
A new breed is someone of God, showing real love, showing real care. Them people that really live in him, not fake like the weave in your girl's hair. You looking like, boy, don't go there. My spirit, man, he been here. Some of y'all just playing wrong like rich men getting welfare. Not gonna catch me half-stepping, selling out, living fake. I'm no different on other days than I am on any given Sunday. This ain't no stereotype, no gimmick. Homeboy, this is my life. I ain't lukewarm, I'm super hot. I'm trying to be all the way right. Woo! Excuse me, won't follow your example. Don't want it, not even a sample. I'd rather be stepping high, being what God called me to be trampled. When these people see me, I want them to see God. I want them to see this new breed, not a fake, not a joke or facade. New breed, new breed, new breed, new breed. I'm that new breed. New breed, new breed, new breed. Descended from that old seed. New breed, new breed, new breed. I'm that new breed. New breed, new breed, new breed. I'm hyped on that true seed.